Dream co-owner Kelly Loeffler continued her strong stance against the Black Lives Matter movement. She was also asked if she would step down as owner of the Dream. Take a listen.
Is there any chance, Senator, I should say, that you are going to step aside as an owner, give up your interest, or sell it off? Any chance?
Look, Laura, what's at stake here is
yes
much
or no?
more than
It's no wiggle room. Come on. I mean, this is the Ingraham Angle.
No.
Yes or no? No.
No.
Shannon, will she continue her ownership stake?
Skip, I don't see how. I understand she doesn't want to, but I think there's something in the provision. I think that in all organizations, we saw that in basketball. Donald Sterling did not want to give up his, but he understood there was enough owners to vote him out.
Yep.
In the NFL, it's the exact same way. If enough owners get, and you're going to need a majority, so if 20, I think it's 24, 26 of the owners were to vote, so it's going to, I believe it's the same thing. If enough of these owners says, no, she has to go, she has no choice. Because she entered into a contract where, and that's what's going to happen. It's hard for them to field a team if nobody wants to play for the Dream. Now, so I don't get, now I get what she's doing here, Skip. She's up for election. Now, she was a special appointee by the governor, Brian Kemp, in the state of Georgia.
To be the senator.
To be the senator. Johnny Isaacson stepped down for health-related reasons. Now, in order for her to get reelected, she's going to have to go before the people. Now, the people are going to have to put, there's nothing else Brian Kemp can do. He's done her a solid by placing her there. She's a diehard, staunch supporter of President Trump. Everything he stands for. But Skip, she mentioned this cancel culture. Guess who started that? One, President Trump. Because you remember in 2017 when he went down to Alabama and he said the players that kneel, that the owners should get fired, get them out. He started it. When the media wouldn't give him favorable reports, newspaper, cancel them, they should be done away with. Journalists fired.
Fake news.
He started the cancel culture. Now you see what happened is now black people got a little voice, got a little power. We calling out their bull jive. Oh, they want to cancel. You're exactly right, Ms. Kelly. We want to cancel the system that's been in place for this length of time that keep minorities down, that keep minorities bound. You're exactly right. We want to cancel that culture. And we're going to do everything we possibly can to upend that culture, tear it down. So, Skip, I don't see how, given what she stands for, given what the WNBA stands for, I don't see how she stays in this role.
The truth is, I don't believe she cares whether she stays in this role or not. I think she'd like to fight for it until the election, which is November 3rd.
Right.
But after that, I don't think she cares. I think she knew when she sent this letter to the commissioner of the WNBA, and I'm going to guess that she or her side, her people, leaked this letter to the media because she wanted it out there.
Right.
Because as you know and I know, this is a page right out of the playbook of our president.
Yeah.
And I believe that, like our president, she might be a little desperate about whether she can be actually elected back into the post she was appointed to. Your state of Georgia appears that it might become, for the first time in almost 30 years, a swing state. Will it vote Trump? Will it maybe vote Biden? Will it be on the fence?
I think maybe Clinton.
Okay. It was 92, Clinton. Yes, they voted Clinton, or majority voted Clinton. So because of that, she's no shoe-in to get elected into this office.
Correct.
And she played the far-right card. She went back to her constituency that she believes would vote her into this office, just the way I believe our president is also reaching back for those people,
his base,
hoping they're still there for him.
Right.
And I'm going to remind everyone, she grew up on a farm in central Illinois, not in Georgia, outside a little town called Stanford. Then she went to the University of Illinois down the bottom of the state, south in southern Illinois, Champaign, and then back up to the very top of the state in Chicago to DePaul to get her business master's in business. And then she worked her way up through business and joined a very powerful company. And within a couple of years, she married the CEO of that company. And she is a very wealthy woman.
Yeah, and insider trading, but we talk about that.
They were investigated, but it was dropped. But they were investigated.
It was dropped, huh?
It was dropped.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but to your point, correct. They were definitely investigated. Just before the pandemic hit, they were selling a lot of shares, and it looked like whatever. Okay. So now, She has become a 50% owner of the Atlanta Dream. I don't think that in the grand scheme of things, that matters very little to her.
Very.
But it is a great stage for her and a great platform by which to campaign. So she chose the moment, and it's some shrewd operating here, to not just double down against Black Lives Matter, to just go all in against Black Lives Matter with exaggerations and I believe some fabrications, because her first statement in the letter, if I may repeat some of the things she claimed, she called it Black Lives Matter a political movement. And by the way, just this is my 2 cents from over on this side of the table. It's not a political movement. It's a human movement.
Right.
It's a life movement.
Correct.
It's an equality movement. It's not about politics per se. It's about people. So I don't buy that, but she says that this political movement has advocated for defunding the police, called for the removal of Jesus from churches, not sure about that one, and the disruption of the nuclear family structure. I don't think Black Lives Matter has anything to do with that. I might be wrong, but I'm sorry, I don't see that one. That the Black Lives Matter movement has harbored anti-Semitic views. Well, Deshaun stepped into that. Maybe that gave her the opening. I don't know, but whatever. And then in her latest salvo yesterday, she did a couple of national TV interviews. This organization, Black Lives Matter, seeks to destroy American principles, and I had to draw the line. Destroy American principles. I'm lost on that one, but maybe it plays well to what you call the base.
But she's not lying, because the American principles is as she sees them. Minorities impoverished, minorities not having the economic base.
You mean the way things were?
Right. So she's absolutely right. They don't want to upset that. The end of systemic and institutional racism. So the principles of which America was founded on is right. She doesn't want that to go away. A lot of people don't want that to go away. That's what President Trump keeps talking. Our heritage. Even though, as we talked about in the first segment, Skip, your heritage came at the expense and pain and suffering of someone else's heritage. She doesn't get it. Well, she gets it. She
does.
Totally gets it. She totally gets it. She's like you said, she's a very educated woman, and she knows what's at stake here. And so that's what Skip, you remember, I think it was 2014? Maybe 2014 is when the Tea Party rose to prominence, because they said there's some things that's going on in this administration that we don't like, so we're gonna start a movement. Well, blacks have said, you know what, we're kind of tired of this. We're tired of this police brutality. We're tired of not having the economic base that we see another segment enjoy. We're tired of these institutions and this systemic racism that's held us back for years and years and years. We're tired of it. So we're gonna start a movement. That's normally what happens, Skip. There's an uprising. That's what happened with the Tea Party. I got tired of this. They said, we're tired of taxation without representation. So you know what they did, Skip? They started an uprising. And they dumped all that tea in the Boston Harbor, because that was the money. Tea was money then. It was the currency. Not dollars and cents, tea. So that got their right. So the blacks and whites and minorities said, we're going to start a movement. And what is happening, Skip, if you notice, the movements are getting bigger. You look at gay pride and you look at the people that's around the country, how big this movement is. You look at the LGBT community and how big this movement is. And you look at Black Lives Matter and you see how movement is. And they see, for the very first time, Skip, in a very long time, I believe they say this paradigm is shifting. And we got to do something. We got to hold them. Skip, they're not letting it go. Power concedes nothing without demand. Nobody's going to say, you know what? We've been here for a long time, and we've had it this way. We think we want to be fair. We want to do right by you guys, and here you go. Here's some power, and here's some of our economics. And this, we're going to tell you, no, that's not how it works, Skip.
So if you step away from what's happening with Senator Loeffler, it's almost laugh out loud, the irony of it. She owns 50% of a women's basketball team in Atlanta, which I consider like a black capital,
it is.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And a huge gay population, Skip.
Okay.
The pride down there is unbelievable.
Okay. And the starting five for the Atlanta Dream is African American. The top 8 scorers from last year, either black or minority. And she owns half of that, which just seems wrong to start with, but whatever. It's American. You can buy your way in.
Right.
So there she is.